Two of the PBA's most interesting personalities headline today's show. Edgy Sean Rash won last week's doubles telecast and is seeking his 14th PBA title. Flamboyant Kyle Troup comes from a legendary PBA family and is looking to add to his legacy. The PBA Lubbock Sports Open is next. And we welcome you to Lubbock, Texas, home of the great Buddy Holly and the Crickets, Texas Tech University, and South Plains Lanes. Our home today for the PBA on Fox. And our top five for the PBA Lubbock Sports Open begins with Kyle Troup, number 4, and lefty Rhino Page, number 5, who took it down to the last shot of the last match to qualify. Michael Tang, seeking his first tour title, is number 3. Number 2, the veteran Dick Allen, and number 1, you saw him win the doubles last week, Sean Rash, now going for a singles title. Hello again, everybody, with the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler. I'm Dave Lamont. First off, thank you very much to my friends at the PBA and Fox Sports. I'm delighted to be here, believe me. Randy, we always love to talk about who's the top seed, who's the hot player, but I kind of think the pattern today is the star of our show because this is a very unusual afternoon we're going to have.
Yeah, both oil patterns. Not just one oil pattern, but two, to just add to the drama and the difficulty of this week's tournament. Wolf on the right, Scorpion on the left, 10 feet difference in length, and these two patterns couldn't play more differently, Dave. Wolf, the players are going to attack this from the extreme outside part of the lane, both lefties and righties. Scorpion, however, is going to play completely different. The players are going to move way in, they're going to open up their angles, and they're going to throw it to that little light spot in between first and second arrow at about 40 feet down the lane. This was the star of the show here in Lubbock.
So maybe it's no surprise that atop everybody, and he was undefeated in match play yesterday, you have a veteran shot maker in Sean Rash.
Yeah, no surprise. You know, there's a thing called momentum, and as a player, when you're able to ride that wave, well, you hope to ride it for a long time, and Sean is doing just that. But it's not just momentum that Sean is riding. He's also riding this new edge he has about him. He said, hey, everybody thought I was done, washed up, left for dead. He says, you know what? I still have a lot to prove out here, and I'm going to start by winning another one here today.
And he is standing by with Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, guys. So, Sean, yesterday in the players' interviews, you said that 2018 was your worst year to date, but 2019 you're starting off strong. You won a doubles match, and now you're sitting in the number 1 seed. So what is different for you?
Well, it's just the self-confidence, the support from my family and friends, the sponsors, and it's a new year. Everyone keeps talking about 2018, and I've already forgotten about it because we're 4 weeks in, I'm bowling really well, and a lot can happen today.
All right, well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I'll let you get back to practicing. Guys, we're going to send it back to you.
Sean and Kimberly, thank you very much. Sean's going to have to wait a while to practice his magic because we have Kyle Troup and Rhino Page to lead things off. Michael Tang awaits the winner of that. Dick Allen awaits the winner of match number 2. And then whoever gets through the first 3 will take on our number 1 seed seeking a 14th PBA title. And we will get going. Kyle Troup, Rhino Page. And man, is lane selection important today.
Now, the players talked about how a few of them liked the right lane better because there was friction, and I kind of thought this was going to come down to lane choice. You know, who decided to finish on that right lane would have an advantage. We'll see if it plays out.
Well, Kyle Troup has chosen the left lane to start. Just a little bit through the face, 1 pin left. Kyle, of course, you know his colorful outfits. You know his dad, the great Duffy Troup, was a colorful player in his own right. Kyle, known as the Afro Fish. He's also a great player, not just an image. Look out there, a little stick of the line. Looking for his 4th PBA Tour title is Kyle. And here is 2017 U.S. Open champion Rhino Page. One of 6 PBA Tour titles for this veteran out of Orlando, and the only lefty on the show today. Well, we thought that would happen today.
All right. It's all uphill from here.
Yeah, anytime the players are playing this far this close to the edge, you run this risk. And first shot out of the gate, Rhino Page is a little amped up. Fires it right into the left channel.
So how do you shake that off?
I think he did a nice job of it with his response to the crowd.
Even better with that response.
And Dave, that's as good as 9 spare.
Yeah, it's right now the third string.
You see just how far outside the location is of that ball down lane. As soon as I get a number from Strike Track, I'll relay that.
See Rhino's numbers under the hot lights.
You talk about Sean Rash going 8-0. What an advantage it is to winning those games and getting those 30 bonus points. Rhino a little different path.
Smashes 10 into the pit.
And there you go, location 15-4. That's the third arrow on the left for Rhino Page. Get his numbers the next time he's up on the right lane.
Randy, you ever do this in your career? Did you ever write little notes to yourself on your shoes? Because that's exactly what Kyle Troup has done today. Go on the right foot and release on the left foot.
Right, I asked him about it. He said go means get your feet moving and release means let it go when you get to the bottom of the swing.
Savage chop on the 10. Yeah, I thought he might go to the pick after that.
Kyle using urethane and not reactive because of his high rev rate. It's a little bit more controllable. Remember, there's only 32 feet of oil on that right lane, so there's a lot of hook and a lot of friction. So remember, the 3.5 board was his location down lane on the right lane.
That's wide right and leaves a difficult 3 left on the deck.
A good 13 boards left at the arrows on that shot. His break point was just a little bit too far to the right. And look how much slicker the left lane is. Just another 10 feet, but it might as well be another 100. 10 feet is extremely slick as we see the conversion percentage for the 128. Tour average.
1 for 1 today. So even with 2.5 down, here comes Rhino. 2008 PBA Rookie of the Year. He's got the Codex. Crux Prime is the ball of choice at the moment. No Rules Pearl, Idle Pearl, and IQ Tour, but he's going to use 2, obviously, with 2 different patterns.
IQ Tour on the right lane. Good shot.
It really blows me away as you take a look at how far he goes and how he flirts with that channel and how they all will today on that lane.
So 1.5 board, which means he's got about another 3/4 of an inch to the left before the ball falls in. And that's living on the edge, literally.
Rhino being a major champion, this event to me has a major feel because players are being called on to do a little bit of everything. As we remind you, every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics with Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. Weekdays from 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern, only on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. You have to have everything in your arsenal, and you have to be a very creative spare maker. We saw some unbelievable leaves during match play yesterday. And a little kiss on the 7.
So a good 7 boards right down lane for Rhino Page on the Scorpion 42-foot pattern. Much stronger ball using the Crux Prime on the left lane. And a nice result for kicking the 7 out late.
So we stay square. Just through the face and leaves behind a 3 6 and 10. Let's check in with Kimberly with a pretty interesting story about Kyle Troup.
Interesting indeed, guys. I always ask the bowlers in pre-show if they have any existing injuries, and when I asked Kyle that yesterday, he laughed and said, "Funny you ask." On the first day of qualifying, he went to the gym with his roommates, and they decided to do a high-intensity training using a treadmill at 12 miles an hour, and as you can imagine, it did not go as planned. He took a few steps on it, and just like those epic fail videos, he tripped and was thrown backwards into a wall. He bruised his knees, and he had a bruise on his back, and he said he could barely walk afterwards. I asked him today how he was doing, and in true happy-go-lucky Kyle fashion, he said he started the week off with a bruise to his ego, but today he's all good and he's ready to go.
All right, Kimberly, thank you very much. Wide right again on the other lane.
Well, I promise you that he was probably getting it back from that spot during practice and during warm-ups, and now all of a sudden it's not even coming around the corner as Kyle misses a head pin again on the left lane. This time he leaves the 10 pin with it.
Now this one considerably more difficult. And yes, better than 23%. He's 1 for 1 with that one. So he has kept this competitive, only 6 back, and it is time for the hammer tough spare replay.
Well, a great conversion to maintain a clean game through 5. And only a 6-pin deficit. However, Rhino Page working on a strike, but he does step up on the lane that he did get 0 on. Very first shot of this match, he threw.
Came back with 9 spare in the third. Here he is with a slight advantage through 4.5. Heard him say whoops. And he leaves a sleeper back there.
Well, he said the key was to stay soft with his hand on this hooking lane, but that was just a half a board to the left of his last shot, and that one barely comes up and catches a piece of the head pin. He leaves the 3-9.
So does he have a really tight window to work with here to get it in the pocket?
I think that they all do, unless the ball's out of their hand just perfect.
Let it go, and he got it.
Extremely difficult oil pattern, both on the right and the left. The only reason why the players like the right lane a little bit more is because there's some friction. And as a player, you like friction. You know there's a spot that you can actually throw the ball into, and it's actually going to respond from that spot.
Page asking for a re-rack. Looking for his 7th PBA Tour title as Rhino. Like a lot of other players successful in college, he was a champion at Kansas. We take a look at what they've done so far, left lane, right lane, and left lane with 2 strikes, both from this guy. And he's on that lane right now. 3 for 3.
Just a half a board to the left at arrows. His location down the lane looks pretty good, and it was 10 back.
Kyle Troup's got a rally in this match.
And you're watching the PBA on FS1.
The PBA on Fox is sponsored by Go Bowling. For promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to gobowling.com. Guns up, everybody. Take a look at Texas Tech. Over 38,000 students, and a nice win in basketball last night in that SEC Big 12 Challenge, taking down Arkansas. Let's take a look at the numbers halfway through this opening match. First off, the strike track for Kyle Troup.
Well, Kyle Troup's normal ball rep, his regular ball rep's not here right now. Timmy Mack, who's recovering from knee surgery. Timmy, everybody wishes you well, but look at how much different these 2 oil patterns are being played just in angle. And Kyle having a lot of trouble getting the ball to the pocket on the left lane using urethane on the right lane. Rhino Page, however, he's been within half an inch of target on both patterns. You can see how much straighter he's playing. Wolf on the right, Scorpion on the left. But here's a big difference that I look at, and it's these numbers right here. Rev rate. Look at how much lower the rev rate is on the right lane. 100 RPMs less, and that's because there's so much friction. He's reduced the amount of hit. He's softened his hand, and he's letting the lane take the ball to the pocket on the right lane.
No, we should mention on the right lane he does not struck. On the left lane, he's 3 for 3.
He's hit the pocket a lot.
Now Troup. The only strike he's had in this match was on this lane. Oh, wrap around on the 10.
That's pretty good after commercial.
Just a pinch inside a target. And a lot of times when the ball hits the pocket and it sits in that oil for just a fraction longer, you'll leave that ringing 10 pin.
Kyle is still clean. He hasn't struck but once, but he was still within striking distance of Page.
He's hanging in there and keeping himself close, but he's got to find a way to strike on this left lane. Be interesting to see if he tightens his angle up as you see his arsenal physics on the left lane, pitch black on the right lane.
And it's going to leave you a bucket.
Come on, Kyle.
Still having a hard time finding a pocket on that left lane.
Location was just a little bit right. That shot actually looked a little bit better, but still the bucket, 2-4-5-8.
So the lead for Page grows to 11. Look out here. Held on nicely.
Great spare.
He went directly at it.
Right now he's bowling a clean 189.
And 4 times he's had multi-pin spares to deal with, including a 1-2-10 when she converted.
He's made a ball change on this right lane. He's going to something stronger.
Oh, good for you, Rhino. Gets the 7 and be swept aside. Well, Michael Tang takes on the winner of this match, and he is standing by with Kimberly.
Thanks, guys. Michael, thanks for joining me. So you had major collegiate success, but how do you translate into your first ever win on the PBA Tour today?
Yeah, every step of the way I've been bowling from college to my first couple years on tour have just been a learning process. Taking everything tournament by tournament, learning what I can do better, and as long as I'm trying my best and working really hard, the results will come, and hopefully I'll have a lot more weeks like this one.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Spoiler alert, he will. Michael Tang's got a lot of game, and if you enjoy watching professional bowling, you'll enjoy watching him in the next match. Nice looking shot here for Rhino as he drifts just a pinch high, leaving the 6, but he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He doubled up to increase his lead, and he's keeping the ball in the pocket. Tour average, 97.5% on the 6-pin.
And that one absorbs a little extra punishment. Rhino's lead 20. But Kyle Troup, can he double? Can he string together something? He has just 1 strike, and that was back in the 2nd frame. And he had every reason to like it. He started to back up on that one as soon as you let it go. Well, basketball meets bowling as Chris Paul and his friends like T.O., Mookie Betts, and NASCAR champion Eric Almirola, who you'll see in a moment, with some interesting form when you watch Eric. They're bowling with the PBA's best next week on Fox. And also dropping by, our new color commentator beginning next week, J.J. Watt of the of the Houston Texans. Make sure you join us Super Bowl Sunday at 2 o'clock for one of the most entertaining and interesting events on the tour. From Houston, Texas, it's the CP3 PBA Celebrity Invitational. I jest, of course, but I understand JJ is pretty helpful.
My job is certainly in jeopardy when JJ Watt is in the building.
And the frustration for Kyle Troup is mounting. He cannot buy a strike.
Well, he changed balls and then moved in. You can see his location was 3 boards to the left, and that didn't work. So the undoing for Kyle Troup is the fact that he was never able to find the pocket on the left lane.
Gotta be careful not to chop. He is perfect. Getting more practice than he would like on spare shooting.
Well, you better be a good spare shooter to be a top-notch professional. Kyle Troup is proving that. A clean 189 through 9 for Kyle. Max score 199. Rhino Page right now is going at a 209 pace and can strike out for 229. Remember last time up on this lane, Dave, he made the ball change and struck.
Well, that 7-10 was there for a blink of an eye, and it got swept away.
Shot.
Well, that was an important shot. And the reason why I say that is because if he goes on to win, this is the last shot he'll throw on the right lane in this game. And this kind of sets him up for the match going forward. Not only for his own self-preservation, but for his own confidence level. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Slipped.
Yep, he knew it right away, and this match has changed completely.
Well, now he can lose. If Rhino does not double in the 10th frame, Kyle Troup can get up and strike out and steal this away from Rhino Page.
So what do you think happened here?
It looked like he slipped. A little extra slide there, and watching the players warming up, some had some footing issues.
So he got a re-rack. See the max scores now, just an 8-pin advantage for Rhino. So this is yet another critical shot. As you see what he needs to shut out Kyle Troup and move on to go against Michael Tang. He's got to hurry.
An absolutely incredible turn of events here in the 9th and 10th frame. Rhino Page was in complete control. He whiffs on the 7-pin and then throws this one out the window.
All right, so the strategy, obviously, he's got to go for this to try to get that 2 over to the 7. Unbelievable. Kyle Troup is now in a position to win this match and advance. Back-to-back opens, including a single pin missed by Rhino Page in the foundation frame, has given Kyle Troup an opportunity to steal this in the 10th.
9 spare 9, and he wins. He gets 7 on this first ball. We have possibility of a tie.
He did strike on this lane last time.
Anything less than 7 on this ball.
That attacked the pocket.
Well, when you need a mark, this is a pretty good one. 9-pin falls over from exhaustion.
And that's his special strike song called Pick It Out.
Pick It Out.
Which is obviously, if you know Kyle's game, refers to his hairstyle. He previewed that one for us yesterday.
I'll tell you, this is not going to sit well with Rhino Page for a long time. And you know, being the only southpaw on the telecast today, he had only himself to worry about on that side of the lane.
Kyle Troup's moving on.
Talk about surviving. But you know what? Let's give Kyle some credit. He made just about everything you can make in that game to stay clean, and he's going to advance.
Can I get one more on that lane?
He had 7 spares in that game, Randy. Only 2 of them were single pins.
Yeah.
1 was a bucket, and 4 of them were with 3, including 1-2-10.
Yeah.
Oh, that was 1-2. Yeah.
Yeah,
1-2-10.
1-2-10 washout. He made the 3-6-10, 1-2-8, and the bucket. And that was to stay clean. He hung in there and survived.
Rhino Page finishes in 5th. Kyle Troup's afternoon is far from over. Now it'll be another talented young right-hander, Michael Tang, against Kyle Troup. Next from Lubbock. When you think about Lubbock, Texas, you think of Buddy Holly or Texas Tech, but how about 6 award-winning wineries and a lot of wine festivals throughout the year? The Texas High Plains country grows about 90% of the Texas wine grapes. It's a hidden gem. Texas wine making a mark in the marketplace.
My favorite grape.
Yes, anything in the bottle or in the glass for you, for sure. Michael Tang and Kyle Troup going to go mano a mano here. Kyle Troup. The lesson, boys and girls, you young bowlers, make your spares. You just don't know, and that's exactly what happened with Kyle Troup. He made his spares. And you take a look at his tracker stats.
Yeah, especially when the lanes are tough. But take a look at what he did on the right lane and how accurate he was with his location, and not only at the arrows but the break point. And that's why he was successful on the right lane. That's why he chose to finish there. But let's take a look at the left lane. All over the place, and that's why he never struck on that lane.
So we'll see how Michael Tang will do against this combination. Again, Scorpion and Wolf, 2 different patterns today. It is time for our Flow Bowling Tournament highlights, and of course, all eyes on Jacob Buttriff in Lubbock, trying to make PBA history as the top seed in 4 consecutive events. You know by now he didn't make it. He wound up in 14th. EJ Tackett's had a good January, but he wanted more than 7th place. Unfortunately, EJ had to settle for number 9. And Stu Williams has had a good January. He finished 11th.
Final position round was pretty exciting as it came down to 3 players for that 5th and final spot. Anthony Simonson, Chris Prather, and Rhino Page within 10 pins of each other. Simonson taken to the air. Look at that insane loft. He got off to a tough start and couldn't string enough strikes together. He would finish 7th. Prather made a nice run, but this big 4 would cost him dearly, as Chris would finish 6th.
And Rhino Page thought all was lost. What an awful break this is. In the 9th, his first shot is that, a 7-10. However, clutch in the 10th, strike, 9 spare. Won his match by 1 and grabbed the last spot of the show. Take a look at the other finishers. You mentioned Chris Prather. Anthony Simonson made a nice run there. Lavery Spar, EJ Tackett, Kyle Sherman in 10th, Stu Williams number 11. Nick Pate, Brett Angelo making a run. Jacob Buttriff slowing down just for 5 seconds, letting everybody else win. Andrew Anderson and the defending champion, Chris Barnes, made it to match play and finished in 16th.
Jacob did win another regional, though, prior to the start of this event.
I didn't know I actually hit what I look at.
So Michael Tang getting advice from somebody who knows how to win. Kelly Kulik, he'll be taking on Kyle Troup. Match number 2 coming up. PBA Lubbock Sports Open from South Plains Lanes in Lubbock, Texas.
I'm Chris Barnes, and you're watching the PBA on FS1.
Inside South Plains Lanes in Lubbock, Texas, we're getting ready for match number 2. Michael Tang and Kyle Troup. And we mentioned Chris Barnes. Take a look at our Ebonite flashback. Let's go back to the Lubbock Sports Open last year, which you saw exclusively on Extra Frame. Jacob Buttriff needed 2 strikes in the 10th. He could have locked out Chris Barnes, but you saw he didn't get the 2 strikes. So he left the door open for one of the best players in the history of the game, and Chris shut it for him. He had to strike out of the 10th, and he did. Won this by 1 pin, 207-206, to win career title number 19, and his first on U.S. soil since 2013. Congratulations to Chris, not just a PBA Hall of Fame inductee now, Randy, but also the USBC Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah, you know, I was there last year calling that match, and I remember saying to myself, you know, this is hard to do when you're young. It's really hard to do when you're old. Chris Barnes is a Hall of Famer now in both PBA and USBC halls, and one of the best that's ever laced him up out here on the PBA tour, that's for sure.
He's undoubtedly watching today, unless he's practicing his free throws. So Kyle Troup and Michael Tang. And here is Michael. Now living in the Columbus, Ohio area, looking for his first PBA Tour title. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's going to get one. Maybe it's not going to be today, but he's going to get one and many more. He's going to have to work for it right here.
We'll see if Michael Tang can adjust faster than Kyle Troup was able to. Kyle still hasn't struck on that left lane, and remember the trend that I mentioned at the start of the show, where the player coming on got choice of starting lane, and Michael Tang chose to start on the left lane, which makes him finish on the right lane.
So the odds are against him here. But we've seen difficult shots made today already. Going for it, and he'll open up with a 9. Now, Kyle Troup doesn't have to work very hard to get the crowd behind him. He is engaging, but he's talented too.
Very much so, and he's the son of a former superstar out here in Guppy Troup, and Kyle gets his colors from that gentleman. I used to bowl against Guppy back in the day when I first started.
Oh, come on, Messenger, do your job.
Well, this is what rev rate and angle will do for you. The unusual 4-step approach is modified it a little bit now, maybe 4.5 steps, but it's still the two-handed no-thumb style. And head pin goes to the sidewall, and, well, it takes the 10 out, sends the 10 pin over to the blue tent for evaluation.
I thought that had potential, and instead he's got a sleeper back there.
Well, if you think it's hard to get to the pocket on the left lane, wait till you watch him shoot the 2-8. And again, everything's kind of playing out as expected. It was talking with the players, it was the one player that could figure out the left lane.
And just a quick reminder, if you don't know, we have 2 different patterns in play today. A shorter pattern on the right lane and a longer pattern on the left. Wolf on the right, Scorpion on the left. Look out here, and he does another conversion of a very tricky lead.
Well, I promise you, he thought he missed that left. And there was just enough oil down lane to hold it on line.
So Tang in an early hole after opening. Off of a split in the first. You see what Michael Tang did in match play. And really took advantage of the extra 30 pins given every time you win in match play. No Messenger that time, and just a 10-pin left.
Both Michael Tang and Kyle Troup using urethane, not reactive resin, on the right lane, and that's enabling them with their high rev rates to keep the ball more online, to throw a straighter shot on that shorter oil pattern.
Dick Allen, the number 2 seed. Sean Rash, the number 1 seed. So it is time to bring in my partner Randy Peterson with today's track technique.
Well, I think one of the things that makes the pros so great is what they do with the swing from the top. So he swings the ball out away from his body, which enables him to tuck this underneath his right shoulder on the way down. Watch the separation off of the wall there to the left, and you can see just how far to the inside he's able to tuck that ball. And that's what helps him get his hand in a great spot to create that ball roll that is so magnificent going down the lane. Now, he does some other great things. I'm not sure if we're going to get to it or not after this shot.
And a right-hander strikes on the left lane.
And to finish up with track technique, let's take a look at Michael from profile and that great shot he just threw. What I really like about what he does is the start, how he gets the ball into the swing nice and early. So this helps him get his feet moving, but it also allows him time to get that ball up to the height of the backswing. And he's in great positions here. He's got great lines. Look how nice and long that is, but look at the right foot, how open it is. That helps clear those hips and get him open to get him to the foul line.
Yeah, Kyle liked it all the way off his hand on that one and score striking anyway, picking up a little bit in match number 2.
A little bit more of a comfort level on the right lane. Again, we talked about it because there's some friction. The left lane is going to be the deciding factor.
And now the left lane may be a little more friendly to both players.
He's deeper now. He's about a good 5 boards left at the arrows. And it looks like he's got his ball speed down just a little bit.
Michael Tang has been under the hot lights before. USBC Masters, he finished second, 2017.
Pitch black on the right lane, idle on the left.
Here's that gutter flirtation, but there you see what that power of 23-year-old Michael Tang can do.
The thing that separates the greats is that they're able to play multiple angles. They're able to change their ball rotation. They're able to change speeds. I remember watching young Michael Tang a couple of years ago at the Masters taking on Jason Belmonte in the title match, both using urethane. And Michael started lofting urethane in the title match. It was very impressive to watch.
Goodness, Strike Fest is broken out here.
Hey, look who just joined the party, pal.
There's Mom and Dad right there. Thomas and Tracy, who made the trip in. Brother Darren is here as well.
Trying to give you a little Die Hard reference there that I think you may have whiffed on.
I did whiff on. I have only seen that movie maybe once.
That's all right.
And I don't think it's a Christmas movie, to answer your next question.
It certainly is not.
It's not, and I don't know why people think you do. Every holiday we have the biggest debate in the country is that a Christmas movie? So I'm sorry, man. Got to stick to the classic movies. That's just enough high to leave one on the deck for Kyle.
Whew, caught that one.
Just a pinch high, only a 4-pin, no problem.
Kyle Troup has been living off his spare making so far through a match and a half here in South Plain Lanes in Lubbock, Texas. Pardon me. He has been clean.
One more time.
And a single pin for him is easy. I mean, some of the other ones he's had to make have been brutally difficult.
Eyes closed.
Oh, crossed over that time.
Oh boy. Put him up. Oh boy.
Well, he got away with this one. How about that?
Yeah, this was just a bit inside of target. And that shows you something about how difficult this oil pattern is. When a professional takes a plastic ball out to shoot a 5-pin.
Demanding patterns, Wolf and Scorpion today. Getting in the heads of these players for sure. They're going to try to bounce back when we return. Take a look at Kyle Troup talking to Jim Callahan, and also the Hall of Famer Del Ballard Jr. offering up some expertise. Kyle Troup winning in Sweden last year. Let's go through the strike track here, Randy, and the ups and downs of Kyle Troup.
Well, he made a big change from game one. 21st board at the arrows, but he also changed balls and then moved left and got a little bit softer. And Chris Barnes told me earlier in the week that one of the things that Kyle Troup's gotten a lot better at is speed control. He used to be a guy that just liked to throw really hard with a lot of revs, but he's really worked hard on lowering his ball speed when he has to, and that's exactly what he did on that last shot.
We take a look at Michael Tang. Leads by 1 pin. He's dropped 3 in a row. Four will happen. Not a conventional strike, but he'll take it.
I'll tell you what, that's a huge break. And young Michael Tang was working on a 3-bagger and a 1-pin advantage. Crosses over, trips the 6 late, and that 1-pin advantage goes to 11. Now the thing to do is to capitalize on it, right? Well, easier said than done. He's on the left lane.
But he has struck the last 2 times here. Whoa. That literally got away from him.
3 boards wide of the break point on that shot, and you just can't do it on the 42-foot Scorpion. Too slick down lane, Dave.
Yeah, the blue there is where he wants to throw it,
Yep.
but the red is where he did throw it. There is Darren Tang, Michael's brother. Darren now having left Northern California, and he's living in Vegas.
I don't know. I never get invited over to the house. So. Yes, he's living in Vegas. Michael's now in Ohio. So they both flew the coop to San Francisco. When we asked Michael, why did you guys, Michael, what made you move to Ohio? And he said, I guess it was just time to grow up.
Well, too bad that hasn't happened to us.
Speak for yourself, pal. I moved to Florida.
Yes, where you're a one-man amusement park. Kyle Troup down by 7, but he trailed pretty much the entire first match with Rhino Page until Page finished open. Troup looked out. One. Got it.
Yeah, liked it.
Little flirtation with the gutter, but he brings it back home.
And now an opportunity to regain the lead. Problem is he's on the left lane, and the lane that he's only struck once on in almost 2 games.
There you see just how close to disaster you have to be on that lane.
So difficult.
All right, for a little while, Randy, players were having success on that left lane. They are no longer having that success. What has changed?
It's such a fine line that you have to hit. The speed's got to be perfect. Location's got to be perfect. So he's going to try to get it over into this spot here, throw the head pin into the 10, and the ball will then take out the 4-pin.
He has made everything today, and he has had some bizarre leads. Why not? Perfect! Still!
He's doing all the things necessary to win. Clean through a game in 8 frames. As tough as they are.
I think he needs to start a spare shooting summer camp in North Carolina, where he lives.
Just nothing is rattling him. He's in a good spot mentally. He's focused.
But he's trailing to this guy, Tang, and Tang goes stalking the pocket. Well, let's check in with Kimberly Pressler.
Dick, obviously this is a unique competition with 2 different oil patterns. So which one is most challenging for you?
For me, it's the left lane. A little bit tighter. I don't like the oil. Guys are playing in, so it's just a matter of conquering that left lane. And then I mean, that's basically it.
That left lane is hard to come by in strikes today. So good luck to you today, and we'll see you in the very next match.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to seeing Dick Allen, colorful character. Michael Tang is wide right again on that left lane. I don't think anybody likes it today. Dick Allen's not in the minority.
It's so funny because you miss by 2 inches to the right of target and you miss the headpin. But if you miss a board or two to the left, you then flirt with a runaway Brooklyn.
I'm not sure Michael needs Kyle's pick, but that was very generous of Kyle to offer that up. So for the most part, for the pro, this is an easy shot.
He's going to throw it straight. Didn't mean to make it that way, I promise you.
Yeah, the look on his face, he agrees with you. Yeah, that was sort of his bird box challenge right there when he put his hands in front of his eyes. So Kyle Troup, this was almost the last match repeated, except this time in the ninth frame, Tang didn't even open. But here's Troup down late, trying to figure out a way to come from behind.
Big difference, though, is that Kyle Troup has to finish on the left lane this match.
Topples 10.
Showman just like his father, Guppy. But right now he has to show us something on the left lane to have any chance to win this. That mix-em-up strike there in the ninth on the right lane as he points at you, Dave, and says, welcome back. Kyle Troup can strike out in the 10th frame and lock it up with 2:28.
2 and 8, 2 and 9, or all three will do it for Troup and put him into a match with Dick Allen. Is that a ball change?
Absolutely, sure is. Going for broke. That's huge.
And he cashes in.
Huge. So now good count and a spare will force Michael Tang to double.
And this goes back to what you said that Chris Barnes told you about Kyle changing his game and becoming a smarter player.
Yeah.
A perfect example of it right there.
See this, line him up, knock him down, watch him lead this.
It's extremely gutsy to make this change in the 10th frame, but he had nothing else.
Sure game right
And
here.
remember, we talked about the fact that Kyle had struck one time in 2 games on the left lane. This is the 3rd different ball he's used on that lane. Now he's got to be perfect once more and good count.
Look at how those lines merge right there. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Really, really good. Now he's asking his ball rep, should I take my urethane ball out and throw it straight at the head pin? Remember, he needs 8.
So what would you do?
I would probably take my spare ball out and throw it straight at the head pin and hope to get 8 or better, because that lane is so tricky. We've seen Darren Tang miss a head pin twice, back-to-back shots. There's no telling. He's going to stay with it.
And he's going to win. Wow. He stayed with it, and the late ball change puts Kyle Troup into the next match.
That's one of the gutsiest moves I've seen in a long time.
Big finish for the Afro Fish.
We're going to see a lot more of this young man, I promise you. Michael Tang is the real deal. Only 23 years old. He's still learning how to get to where he needs to be to make shows consistently, but he's got plenty of talent.
Next up, not your typical house bowler by any means. The always enjoyable Dick Allen is next. So Kyle Troup made all his spares and hung on to defeat Rhino Page, and Rhino had trouble late. Then he had to strike out on the toughest lane in the house After going 1 for 9 from there, Kyle Troup went 3 for 3 and locked out Michael Tang. Can the number 4 seed keep it going against the veteran Dick Allen in our next match? The PBA and Stepladder have created custom vinyl wall decals to some of your favorite PBA players. Large vinyl decals readily attached to the most smooth, flat surfaces and can be easily removed and relocated. Action shots of more than 30 PBA Tour players and legends are available, so head to PBA.com and click the Stepladder banner ad to order your favorite player. Take a look at the playoff points list. As we try to get down to the top 24 to qualify, it'll be after the USBC Masters qualifying for the playoffs. And no surprise, Jacob Buttriff had another good week here, finishing in the top 16, and he remains number 1. In fact, number 1 by a bit over Jesper Svensson, Sean Rash in third. Of course, Sean is going to do okay today. He's already the number 1 seed, and the cut line right now at Darren Tang. So Dick Allen had lane choice, being the number 2 seed. And he has chosen to start on the left lane. The 40-year-old from Columbia, South Carolina, looking for title number 6. And collapses 10. So we're going to have a difference in rev rate in this one.
Yeah, but there's one thing that remains the same, is the players coming on are choosing to finish on the right lane. So far, each higher seed has chosen to finish on the lane that's a lot more predictable.
Just a sailing messenger across to blast away the evil 10 pin. Pick it out indeed.
A lot of power in that stroke there. And that massive messenger.
All right, now you've made the run before. You ran up ladders in your career.
My first title was running the ladder.
So how do you start to feel as you continue to beat people?
Pretty comfortable.
And that's going to weeble and wobble, but it is not going to fall down.
It's a comfort thing. It's comfort level. You see the lanes. You know exactly what they're giving you. No guessing. Obviously, back then we didn't have the transition that we have now, no matter what the rev rate was, because the bowling balls were all pretty much the same before reactive resin came out. And so you just got kind of grooved, and you got into your happy place mentally, and you just enjoyed the hour and a half or 2 hours.
Dick Allen's last televised title, you go back to Indianapolis in 2011, the Dick Weber PBA playoffs. He looks pretty comfortable. Very casual fist pump here. Let's get more on Dick Allen from Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Dave. So, guys, I spoke with Dick about what helped motivate him to get him to the show today, and he said it was actually a personal conversation that he had with the commissioner, Tom Clark, this week. Now, Dick reached out to the commissioner, and even though he didn't want to tell me exactly what was said, he said it was enough to give him the kick of confidence he needed to know that he could make the show, and he wanted to specifically thank Tom for, as he put it, setting him straight.
And so Tom Clark apparently has now opened a counseling service.
Yeah, and every time Tom set me straight, it was never a good thing.
He liked it right away. He had the arm up in celebration. That ball was about halfway down.
That's a pretty good start. You know, the one thing that Dick Allen can do using his thumb is he's a lot more versatile in what he can do in terms of ball roll, rotation, and rev rate. And it's a lot easier for him to thumb it through the front part of the lane and still get it to do this in the back part.
Wow, that is an absolute ripoff.
Yeah, and tough to swallow, too, when you don't strike on your good lane. And Kyle knows it, especially since Dick Allen got off to that hot start, but that's a vicious ring in 10. Remember the last time up, Kyle got the messenger to come across, and this time it's the stubborn 10 pin.
Hang on there. All right, he got it, clipped it.
I forgot you. That's why I didn't carry that one. All right, push it back.
Well, it's interesting because in both those matches, his opponents left open frames in the first. Actually, no, Rhino had the gutter, but he spared it.
Yeah.
But Michael Tang had an open frame in the first, and nobody has gotten off to a start like Rhino, like Allen has gotten off to in this match. Troup hasn't had to face that yet. Dude. What in the world was that?
Just a swift kick to the gut right here. The ball goes right by the 9 pin.
Coming up February, buckle up for the biggest race day of the year, the Daytona 500 on Fox. The Great American Race kicks off the 2019 NASCAR season, February, only on Fox. Venom Shock Pearl so far on the weapons of choice for Dick Allen. Well,
So did I.
I'm not sure what that fan just yelled out, but whatever it is, Dick Allen agreed with it.
Yeah.
Kyle cools off.
Beautiful shot here by Dick Allen, and another stubborn 10 pin on the right lane.
Allen leads by 21. Easy there. Well, he got into a kung fu pose there for a second to keep his balance.
Still got a little bit of agility left in that 40-year-old body.
Yes, sir.
He said he changed his grip at the 2018 U.S. Open and shortened his span. He said his hand feels great. And, you know, we always ask the players, are there any injuries to report? And he said, oh, let's see, wrist, hand, pain, old age, you name it.
Yeah, by the way, he's 40.
Yeah.
Not that old.
No.
What is his approach on this lane? Because he's 3 for 3 on this left lane.
Lower rev rate, little tighter angle to the pocket, much softer, cleaner hand through the front part of the lane. And watch this ball push. It looked like it was just a little bit inside a target and just laid there. So that's touch. He's got a little bit of loft going on as well on that left lane. Remember, the ball can't hook when it's in the air.
I'm not the best at balking.
Somebody coughed at his approach. We heard it.
So he'll go through the whole routine again. Gives us a chance to replay the score. And listen, he has been behind early in every match, so this is not unusual for Kyle Troup.
Let's go.
Not in the slightest. Messenger goes a long way to wipe out the Tang as he air picks.
Sorry, I'm just getting distracted listening to the strike song. Something about picking the afro, I think.
Yep, that is his. That's all his song.
All right. So he could have had 3 in a row easily. Remember, ring 10 and then the stone 9 on the left lane. Strikes here in the 5th, and now he's back up on this left lane.
Oh, that's beautiful. The 8 was swept into the back where it belongs. And this has turned into an old-fashioned Pier 6 back alley brawl between Dick Allen and Kyle Troup for the right to face Sean Rash for the title. And Enthusiastic fans here in Lubbock, Texas, South Plains Lanes. PBA on Fox, the Lubbock Sports Open. Randy, let's do a little comparison here with strike tracks.
Well, there's a big difference in the way these two players are playing the left lane. Kyle Troup is left of the 5th arrow. Dick Allen's a good 8 boards to the right of him. Big difference in power, too. About 150 RPM difference in the two players. But when you look at the cone on the end of the strike path here to the pocket, you can see how much more narrow Dick Allen's is. That's just how much more accurate he's been on that left lane.
Well, he's been perfect so far. Frames 1, 3, and 5 strikes. Allen struck in
gains advantages.
4 out of 5.
Interesting that he's using the same ball. One's just a pearlized version. He's using that on the right lane. The solid on the left.
Oh, no, not like this. Just like that.
All right, you want to
Not
translate
like this,
that?
just like that.
Because he hated everything
Not a bit of
about it
difference.
until it hit the pins.
Come on.
Well, the artist formerly known as Richie did not like this shot at all. It looks like he had a little bit of footing trouble there as his eyes go straight to the floor. I'll have to look at my numbers to see if he missed target inside. It looked like he was spot on in terms of location. In fact, my numbers are telling me he was dead on.
And he is faux for faux. Moses Malone-like on that lane.
Yeah, you know, Dick Allen's got some serious moxie, and I think all the players out here know it. When he gets it going, he's one of the toughest competitors out here.
But nothing's been easy for this guy today. He has managed to work his way through 2 matches. But this is the biggest deficit he has faced so far this afternoon. It's only going to get more difficult.
Slower ball speed causes the ball to break loose and go right through the face, leaving the 3, 4, 6, 7. He'll get the ball over to the 3, the right side of the 3 pin, and try to throw it into the 4, 7.
Got about a 1 in 5 chance of making it. He continues to be clean. How does he do it?
Good spare shooter, that's why.
We've got like a poster flap. I keep hearing like a poster flap in like the 3rd or 4th frame.
Perfect. I like how he shot it from the right side of the lane with plastic.
And Kyle went over to Kirk Von Kruger, who's running the event, and just said, I'm hearing something out of the crowd. So Kirk with a quick announcement to remind him to stay quiet on the approach. Some posters being moved a little bit there. He gunned this one. And the 8 will stand straight.
Stay down on it.
A little faster on that shot. And a little right. And right now, Kyle Troup is running out of frames.
Well, it's the first time he's bowled against anybody who's thrown a lot of strikes.
Yeah, I mean, Dick Allen came out like a man on fire, and he's only missed once, and that was in the 4th frame on the right lane when he left a 10 pin. And
Sean Rash awaits the winner. Sean looking for his 14th title. Dick Allen looking for number 6.
If you're Sean Rash, you certainly didn't expect, nor did you want to see this.
Dick Allen is just making this look like all we talked about, the trickiness of these patterns, and Dick Allen's just blowing that to bits.
I mean, he looks real cool, calm, and collected on the outside, but I guarantee you he's a raging volcano inside. And he's just waiting for the right time, the right moment. In his brain, it's in the 10th frame of the title match to just go all Mount Vesuvius on us.
Well, let's not forget, he is the Prince of Portland, Maine. When things get crazy
Oh,
in
yeah.
doubles competition, he drinks that.
Team MVP. I mean, this guy's making the left lane look like child's play.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that this lane was been tricky and demanding for players, and he has just destroyed that. He's turned that into a myth, even though other players would disagree.
He's been within a half an inch of his target on every shot on that left lane.
And that'll do it.
I don't think I can make that one.
And you know what?
We
You don't
gonna
really
try.
have to. You don't really have to. I think Kyle's been interacting with that young fan right there.
It was a heck of a run, though. And I mean, for Kyle to stay clean as long as he did and not have a whole lot and the adjustments he made and not being afraid speaks volumes for that young man right there.
He's going to back it up. Look at this, a backup ball at
Good try.
Well, Kyle Troup's run is over, but he thrilled the fans here at South Plains Lanes in Lubbock, and I imagine you at home as well. Now the two veterans, Dick Allen, Sean Rash. One of them's walking out of here a champion again. Well, basketball and bowling going to go side by side once again. 2 o'clock next Sunday on Fox. It'll be the CP3 PBA Celebrity Invitational. T.O., Mookie Betts, J.J. Watt. And it's going to be a great, great afternoon for you. Well, I can't wait to get to this. Apparently, we found some video from the dark ages. This week's Go Bowling with Randy. Those pesky corner pins.
You know, I get asked all the time how to make a 10-pin or how do I make a 7-pin, and it's really not that tough if you practice just a little bit. So for a 10-pin for a right-hander, you move as far left as you can, go cross lane at the 10-pin, nice and straight and firm and direct. Even using a plastic spare ball is going to help because that plastic ball is not going to read the oil pattern. Just the opposite for the left-handers. Some of the greatest spare shooters of all time, Norm Duke, Walter Ray, Pete Weber, they all use this same technique. If you're ever at the Kegel Training Center, you can practice on the torch. This is going to get you to be real accurate when shooting corner pins. Now, if you ever leave the 7 and the 10 pin together, well, just make it like I made it.
Wait a minute. Seriously? All right, here are the guys who have actually made it in real life. Mark Ross, John Musson, Jess Tayrook. Wait a minute.
That was real life. It just wasn't on the PBA tour.
Dude.
It was actually a skills tournament that we shot. It was either in Madison, Wisconsin, or Milwaukee, and it was this skins game, and it was all splits. And neither of the three of us, Mark Bedell, Curtis Odom, and myself, thought we had any chance of bouncing any pin out. So instead of the 7-10 being the 10th frame, we moved it to the 9th frame, and I made it.
Oh, that crept along and crept along, plus the bleach blonde hair. Come on. Coming up, our championship, Sean Rash versus Dick Allen. 1 versus 2 for all the marbles and the money here in Lubbock and South Plains. 2 veteran right-handers, 2 tricky patterns. The PBA on Fox is sponsored by Go Bowling. For promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to gobowling.com. And as you would guess, for Lubbock, Texas, the hometown of the great Buddy Holly, have a fabulous and vibrant music scene here. And it's been a fabulous and vibrant stepladder. Kyle Troup took care of Rhino Page and Michael Tang, and then Dick Allen took care of everything in the building with a 278, and he brings that into the championship match versus the top seed, Sean Rash. And here is our tale of the tape.
Yeah, both players, I think, throw fairly similar as well. Similar rev rates. I think the biggest difference is Dick Allen can get softer with his ball speed, much more so than Sean Rash can. But they can both play the same part of the lane and play those same angles.
Your hand's shaking, so make sure you're up here. Let's go. Pull on.
Was this the first time the higher seed has chosen not to start the match?
The first match where the higher seed has chosen to finish on the left lane. Very interesting.
Well, Dick Allen owned the left lane last game.
See how this strategy plays out for Sean Rash, who now has to finish on the left lane.
Well, he had everything going for him last week, along with Matt Ogle, winning the Roth-Holman PBA Doubles Championship. And we'll take our first look at the tournament leader from Montgomery, Illinois, the 36-year-old, 13-time titleist, owner of 2 majors, Sean Rash, who's had success out of the #1 position before. Both his major championships were won out of the #1 seed.
He's won on both of these oil patterns.
Something caught him. Somebody was moving in the bleachers to his left, and I actually see the guy.
Yeah.
That was not my fault. He was at the bar.
And Sean's right. Actually, that is not his fault. I think that gentleman has settled, so Sean will try again. I was about to say, this is Sean's 63rd match. Quiet 10.
And like I said earlier, he's won on both patterns, both Wolf and Scorpion. Scorpion a couple of times. New mindset for him. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He says he feels like he's been written off. I said, what was your key this week? He said, aggressiveness. Be aggressive.
We'll take a look at his form here. Form that's brought him 13 championships.
One of the things he's changed about the last year and a half was he added that little half a step there to get him started. A little bit late into the swing, but then for a big man, he takes very small steps until he gets to #4. Typically what we see is we see that third step a bit longer, the fourth step shorter. So this is a little more old school. I was exactly the same way.
And he broke up, it seemed like a dozen disasters there, and is left with just the one pin standing on the deck.
The question in my mind is, did he choose to finish on the left lane because he liked the left lane better, or was because to slow Dick Allen down? When a man shoots 278, he pretty much likes both lanes. So I'm going with Sean likes the left lane.
So you see what Allen did in match #3. By that gutter, and that did not come back, and boy, the spare got a little bit easier there for him, but still a tricky one. This is really close.
Well, this is on the half board, and about went into the right gutter. He's lucky that it stayed on the lane, and he'll take 7 spare and move along quietly.
And pats himself on the back for making a difficult spare. Dick Allen's first title to go back early in the century. He won the PBA extra frame main shootout last year.
His last televised title, though, was in 2011.
Yep.
Been a long time for this. This guy here.
That's more like it.
Beauty. I was going to say it's been a long time for this young man, but that's only because I've known him for so long. He's no longer young. Beautiful shot here.
Two-time All-American at Wichita State, hence the black and yellow for Sean Rash. Ooh, snap!
That was a beauty there. over 20 miles an hour of ball speed. That's fast. And I think average 17 and a half, 18. Sean Rash is bringing the heat on the right lane as we take one more look at his footwork. Real short first 3 steps and that big long fourth and really long slide.
Shot. Come on.
9 spare in the left lane. In the second frame. A loft there. And a big mix-up, and down they go. A double for Rash. That'll make Mom and Dad, Gene and Diana, very, very happy.
First ball went high on that lane. He gave it a little bit more loft to lay that hook.
Should mention that Sean's wife, Sarah, and the daughters, Kaylee and Olivia, they are home watching this one. That's a lot better for Dick Allen on that lane this time. And he's answering right back.
I am far away, bub. Far away.
Yeah, he is a funny guy, great character, but you're right. There's
unreal.
an eternal toughness in there.
Yeah, I mean, when you know him personally, you know just how funny and creative and clever he is. If you didn't know him, you would swear he was a hitman, maybe, or maybe starring in a hitman movie with Jude Law or something.
Maybe he would get a little slip through there, but he eliminated the 4-7 and is left with the 4. Our hosts here, the managing partners of South Plains Lanes, we can't thank Jimbo and Sunday Evans enough for all the hospitality, which has been, well, Texas-sized.
Yeah, I've known Jimbo for a long time. Used to bowl on tour with him back in the day, and he's one of the best proprietors we have, and we're lucky to have him. We're lucky to have him as a host and his wife and their whole crew. They do a nice job, and they love the bowlers here. They love having the PBA Tour come to Lubbock.
Same thing as first frame.
Rash working a double. His arsenal, vintage Vapor Zone and Cutting Edge Solid, the 2 he's used so far in this game. And the higher number means a little more hook to it.
That's the Cutting Edge Solid, and it cut right through the nose, leaving the pocket 410.
That was a good shot. Paid the penalty. Good shot.
Is he being sarcastic, or does he believe
No,
it's a good shot?
He believes it was a good shot. He's going to try to get the ball over to the left side of the 4-pin and slide it over.
Got a chance. No, well, he went.
It was close.
All in on that.
Yep.
Good shot.
And falls behind by 13.
First shot on this left lane was high. He lofted it and went light. Let's see if he can make it face up the right way.
Boy, broke up a bucket and winds up with just 1 pin left on the deck.
Made the move. Wasn't the right one. Shot.
Looked like it was right down lane in terms of break point. He was right around that 9.5 board.
Ball didn't clip the 5-pin at all. Sean will go straight and hard to eliminate and get the spare. Stay within 13 pins. By the way, this match being brought to you without interruption.
Good shots.
By the way, if we had a little after dark match, if we turned out the lights and went outside the sanction of the National Wrestling Alliance and maybe put $5 in a pot, we could have some great bowling here. You look around the room. Not forgetting my Hall of Fame partner here. We got some real talent watching this match. Watching 2 great bowlers. Dick Allen flush in the 6th. We've seen Matt O'Grady on camera. Kelly Kulik is here. Dave Wadka.
He's chased that right lane in just a pinch now. Remember that one shot he got a little bit to the right and it barely stayed on the lane, so he's bumped in just a half a board, trying to get away from that OB to the right. Of course, another half inch, he would have gotten 0 on that shot. That's how close to the edge he's playing.
Look out here.
Same hit. Same hit that Sean Rash left on the right lane.
Richard.
Now the question is, does he go for it? If he goes for it and misses both pins, he'll be trailing.
So what's?
If he goes for one, he'll still have a small lead.
So the idea, you go just take the one? Or go for it? Go for it. Yeah, he did go for it. That's actually not surprising.
You go for it.
Yeah?
You want to win a title, you go for it. It's just a 1-pin difference. He's either up by a pin or he's down by a pin.
And in this case, he is up by 1. Time for our Columbia 300 fun fact. South Plains Lanes has hosted a PBA event, either PBA Tour or PBA Southwest region, every year since 2011. And Jacob Butterf won the 2019 Southwest region event here just last weekend for his 20th PBA regional title. Finishing second, Sean Rash.
Sorry, I thought you were asking me.
No, we did. We nailed it perfectly. Yeah, no,
we are so harmonizing just beautifully today.
Shula!
That time, Sean Rash's mind and body were perfectly synced as he delivers 10 back on the right lane.
Well, now a little pressure on Allen as he has to sit and watch Rash on that left lane. Whoa, down they go! Goalpost! Doink, doink!
Well, he lofted it, and then he gave it some extra stuff at the bottom of the swing to get it to come around the corner, and it almost looked like it rolled out before it got to the 1-3 and just caves in the 7-10 late. Watch this. Yeah.
Nick Allen has no choice but to strike, and the messenger failed him.
Well, that time it certainly didn't deliver, and he needed it to, as Sean Rash doubled up quickly. Good shot here by Dick Allen as the pin goes behind the 10.
He'll clip that 10 pin, so Mike Edwards, our scorekeeper, is reminding us that Sean Rash's max is 233, Allen 214. We also remind you, we got some hoops coming up, a little Big Ten action on FS1. Iowa ranked 19th against Minnesota. So Allen has not struck since the 6th. And that 9 doesn't seem right.
That's
you
not
know,
my
even
music.
though mathematically it just
terrible.
feels worse than that.
Come on.
With Rash working a double. But he had it.
Again, another high shot on that left lane.
But look how close that matches up with the ideal line.
Made that move.
Well, you heard him say it. I should have made that move. Sean Rash made the big move after one shot on that left lane. I think Dick Allen stayed home longer than he should have. And now he needs help. Max score 203 for Dick Allen. Sean Rash right now is at 203. He's working on a double. Strike here in the 9th in a clean 10th frame. Sean Rash wins title number 14.
And will win in back-to-back weeks. Doubles last week with Matt Ogle and Shawnee. And then a singles title here. And a little announcement to the rest of the tour as we get set for major championships in February as he got a little tape issue. Sean Rash is ready to be a full participant in all activities. Dick Allen is not out of it yet.
Take your time.
But he's going to need a mistake.
With the lanes being as demanding as they are, it's not over until it's over. Anything can happen.
Or you could just flush 10 away, as Sean Rash just did in the foundation frame.
Well, I'm not sure you can throw it any better than that. Sean Rash is going to take a re-rack on the left lane, but this is about as perfect as it gets. He said he was going to try a softer hand and rolling it up the back of the ball, creating more end-over-end roll on that hooking right lane, and that's exactly what he did there.
So Mom and Dad, more nervous than Sean, I promise you.
Any mark. Strike, it's over. Any spare, it's over. The lane he picked to finish on.
Right, just a little bit of work left for Sean.
Good shot.
If he makes this, he wins it.
Great shot. Thanks for something with the retention.
Oh, no.
And if he doesn't make it, Dick Allen has a chance.
Oh, God, Sean, what did you just do?
Too much gets in the way sometimes of what we're trying to do, and we start thinking about things we shouldn't. We lose a little bit of focus, and that's all it takes. And a spare that a professional makes 95% of the time.
But this is no lock for Dick Allen because he's got work to do. He needs to double. He needs 2 and 8. And it won't happen.
Hang on.
Oh, it will! He's still alive!
Not so fast, my friend!
Thank you, Coach. You are correct, sir. Wow!
Hang on!
That was the slowest messenger in the history of this sport.
Well, rolling the 2-pin, I'm not sure we call that a messenger. You can. I would call this one of the best breaks in my career if it goes on to equal a victory, but this has gotten absolutely crazy. Dick Allen, 1 strike and 8 pins away from title number 6.
But anything less than a strike on this ball, and it's not going to happen for him.
On the lane that was his friend for 2.5 games now looks a little tricky. How about it? I said 2.5, I meant a game and a half. And
all right, now
he needs 8.
8 to win. 7 gets us a roll-off. Anything less than 7, and Sean Rash wins it.
Oh, he gave this one away. Great shot. Come on.
As crazy a finish as you will see all year. 8 or better, he wins it.
Look out.
He got the 8!
Wow!
It went right down to the absolute nub!
So proud of you. Oh, my God. They both. I don't know what happened.
Dick Allen has won his 6th career Go Bowling PBA Tour title, and he will never forget it. And unfortunately, neither will Sean Rash. Let's get right to our champion standing by with Kimberly Pressler.
Dick, there is a whole lot of motion going on right now for you. Walk me through that last frame.
Momentum always gains advantages. Always, that's it. I mean, you saw that momentum right there in the first shot in the 10th, and you made a good shot right after that.
Now you
got
were
a little lucky on the last one.
He did, but you know what? You were in full command of these lanes coming into this because you seemed to figure out both of these patterns. How was that?
Sometimes you just do your own game and things work out.
Now, this is the first time you've been on a TV final since 2011. What does it mean to you to be back in the winner's circle?
Look at it. It's everything. It means everything.
And that look says it all. Congratulations to Dick Allen.
Absolutely impossible to believe finish in this match. Sean Rash needed to convert a 10-pin, and he would have locked Dick Allen out. And then Dick Allen needed 2 strikes and 8 pins. He got a strike that nobody can believe still. Then he flushed one, Randy, and then he got the 8 and wins it by a pin.
Well, it's incredible the way things ended up. I mean, Sean Rash was in complete control. He made a great shot in the 9th, comes up in the 10th frame, makes another really nice shot, and you think it's over. He misses a 10-pin. Remember, it wasn't too long ago where Jacob Buttrick missed 2 spares in the title match to lose to Bill O'Neill. That's what kicked off this season. Unbelievable turn of events.
Coming up, we do have Big Ten basketball, and don't forget CP3 next week. For Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler, and our entire crew, again, my thanks to the PBA and Fox. I'm Dave Lamont. Stay tuned for Big Ten basketball next. Congratulations to Dick Allen for a remarkable finish.
Please stay in your seats. There will be a trophy presentation officially.